Coach, good morning. Thanks for doing this. So we spotted that burned boat on the practice field before practice yesterday and the day before. Can you fill us in on that? Whose idea was that? Who did that? How'd you do it? Why'd you do it? Where'd you do it? Any information you could provide on that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Oh boy, I did not think I was going to get asked this. So many questions you guys asked me that I'm not prepared for. I can still plead the fifth here, right? And that's still okay, Katie. I can plead the fifth, right?
Yep.
We'll definitely share it with you. I just how it transpired and all that, but I'm not sure I want to like discuss it here kind of on an open mic. But yeah, maybe offline we'll talk a little bit about it.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yep.
Ryan?
Good morning, Lincoln. I know you've talked before about relying less on the transfer portal, especially this season. Uh, I guess I wonder, just as the season is winding down, like how you think that approach has kind of changed things for this team, and whether it's just relying more on younger players or maybe even just culture-wise. I wonder if that has altered the culture at all that you've seen, not having to rely so much on the portal.
It's a good question. I think it's yeah, I think for us and where our program's at right now, it has been an advantage. And I think the transfers that we did take, I think have largely fit into what we wanted from a culture standpoint. And so, obviously when you're taking less guys like that you've developed in-house, you feel like you mitigate your risk a little bit. Yeah, and then I think there's an excitement of our young players of uh, seeing a path towards development, seeing a path towards the field. I think it's impacted our practices. I think our practices have been really good because of that too, because guys see kind of that upward arc, whether they're playing some right now or they're redshirting or they played some early and less now or vice versa. I think they just see our investment as a whole. Um, Program wide, kind of just in our guys here in house. And I think it's important. I think it's an important message to our high school recruits. I think it's an important message to our current team. And yeah, we just feel like I know every place is different, but we feel like for USC right now, that's right where we need to be.
Did you feel like there was a transition period required with that just because before you were able to, rely more on maybe quick fixes, guys to plug holes here and there who have experience. Now you have to sort of make that jump over to younger guys who you're sort of trusting who have maybe not played as much.
Yeah, I mean, I think the transition is just from a roster standpoint, right? It's we did that in the beginning, and I know we've all talked about that, 1,000 times now, but we were heavier in the portal in the beginning to try to jumpstart this thing. But yeah, whenever you're going to transition it, there's going to be a little bit of that, a little bit of a gap for a while. And yeah, I mean, I think that's happened, and in fact, I still think it's a factor. Like I don't think we're completely into that next world yet, and we're further along certainly than we were last year at this time. But I think that's just going to continue to grow, and I think it's another reason why we're so optimistic and bullish on our future here.
Thanks.
Mhm.
Haley? Good morning. It seems like the team is very well insulated right now from any outside noise at this super important time of year. So, just kind of wondering, is that something like an environment that the coaches kind of perpetuate, or is it something that takes on kind of a life of its own with the players?
Well, that's kind of the age-old question for us, right? Is like how much can you insulate them versus like, everybody on the planet has a cell phone, everybody on the planet has access to 24/7 news, sports talk, all that stuff. So I mean, I don't I mean, our team's aware of it. I think we just tried to really teach these guys of like just where to place value, and where to place their time and energy as much as we can. And I think some of it for us is like it's almost like the outside noise has lost a little bit of credibility with this team. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean that like to be a jerk. I mean, like, but really, it's like, this team kind of had to sit there and listen to, that we weren't going to be a very good team. And now, we've turned into a pretty good team. And so I think this team's credibility with it, and now, again, I'm talking generally. It's, I just don't feel like this team cares that much, honestly, in a way. Like I just think I don't I think I think it'd be naive of me to say that they don't hear some of it. Like it's hard not to in this day and age. But I just don't I really believe the team and the leaders of the team have kind of taken on that personality where they just want to play, and they're having fun playing, they're having fun competing, they're having fun winning, and they just want to keep it going.
Shotgun.
Hey, Lincoln, can you describe the impact you're getting from Anthony Lucas? He seems to be playing at a really high level, but he's not necessarily getting the countable stats out there.
He's playing at a really high level. It's a great observation, and that's been a little bit of a fight for him, and something I'm really proud of him about is there's been times in his career where he has chased the production so heavy that in turn he's missed opportunities or not played as well or hurt us at times. And you see like his maturity, like how he's grown. And right now he is just trusting what we're doing defensively, his assignment. And because of that, he is playing some really, really impactful football. And the thing is, like you could be a defensive end and you could play the game of your life and not have one sack. Like, right, like there's a lot of other factors there, right? And so I think he's really maturing and starting to see that. And people that know ball, you watch how he's playing right now, see that he is an impactful player that's playing at a high level and really affecting us in a positive way. So super proud of that, and just another example of his growth.
Corey.
Morning. Yeah, Autzen Stadium's considered to be one of the louder environments in the country. And last time you coached here a couple years ago, it was with four players at helmet communication. How much of a difference have you seen with that being added to the college game on the road in such a loud place? And like, is it going to make life easier just on the road on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I think it adds that level of communication to whoever you got the green dot on, and which was obviously a lot tougher to do in road environments before. So yeah, I mean, I think it helps. Although I mean, it helps in home environments too. So yeah, I mean, I think maybe a little bit of difference there. Is it some like game changing thing? I don't know that I would say that.
Thanks.
Mhm.
Ryan Jared.
Hey, Coach, how you doing this morning?
Hey, Ryan.
Good. Oregon has an extremely balanced offense. I think between passing yards and rushing yards, it's less than 100 yards separation. What have you, I guess, seen from this offense? And then, after playing an Iowa team that outside of that opening drive, we kind of know they're a very run-heavy team. What just kind of challenges does that give your defense 1 week after playing that type of offense?
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you play somebody that does both things well, that's always a challenge. And yeah, I mean, you have to play complete football against them, right? They've shown the ability to run the ball, especially here in the back half of the season. They've really ran the football well. They've been explosive, been efficient. You got a good group of backs, some impactful tight ends, O-line's playing well. So no, it'd definitely be a big challenge for us there, and then certainly they've shown the ability to be explosive in the passing game, and that's evolved a little bit some as they've had some different receivers in and out of the lineup. But they're a good group. They do both things well. They put pressure on you to defend both, and so yeah, no, big great challenge for our defense. There's no question about it. And our guys are looking forward to it.
Thanks, Coach.
Mhm.
Mark.
Morning, Coach. So everybody loved that second half defense, how gritty they were. They dug in, they got the stops, really held Iowa to doing nothing. When you went back and watched the film the day after or throughout the week, maybe there wasn't a singular moment, but what was it that you saw that just brought a huge smile to your face?
I thought we played better at the line of scrimmage and in the front seven. We were able to close down some space, make some adjustments there after the first couple of drives, and I was proud of how our guys handled the adjustments. And then I would just say, the way our safeties played, especially after, Bishop and Kamari went out, I thought they were a real spark plug for the defense. Kennedy and CP, those guys came in and played really well. And I thought it was almost like, all right, in this game, you lose a couple of these guys that are, your more experienced guys back there. That can be a negative, right? Kind of case in point, kind of look at us a little bit against like Illinois, right? And then instead those guys came in and played at a high level, and it almost like inspired us more. Like it like gave us another boost. You could just kind of feel it on the sideline. So those were probably the biggest keys that I saw, was the adjustments, the front seven playing more impactful, especially some of those young guys that played a little bit more in the second half, and then certainly the play of the safeties.
Was it just them flipping the switch, or was it something that you guys did schematically also, or is it a combination of
Yeah,
both?
I mean, there was a few adjustments in there that we had to make in the way that those guys were attacking us, and I thought, our coaches and players handled that well, and yeah, we kind of settled into the game, and we got a little bit of confidence and made some plays, and we got on we kind of talked about that momentum, we got that momentum, and we really never let go of it defensively after that.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, we're going to wrap up with these last hands. Connor?
What would you say is the strength of this year's USC defense and why?
Um, I would say how we play in the second half right now. I mean, I'd have a hard time not saying that. So I think our resilience, our ability to settle into games and make adjustments has been, I don't know, I haven't seen like a lot of detailed stats on it, but it's pretty damn good. So, yeah, I mean, I would say that, and then again, I think this is almost team wide, but you can certainly defensively, our ability to do it with so many different players, differing lineups, all of that. Again, kind of going back to the resilience of the group. So that would be it for me.
Ryan?
Hey, Lincoln. Jaden has been a little less sharp, it seems like, on the road. His completion rate, I think, is like 16 or 18% lower on the road versus at home. Have you noticed a difference with him, just how he has approached road games versus home games so far this season? And what do you need to see from him in such a hostile environment in such an important game?
Yeah, I mean, I think. I don't know. No, I haven't felt much of a difference, to be completely honest. I mean, we didn't play very good in the passing game, not really any of us at Nebraska. And then we did some good things. Obviously, we played in a downpour the second half of Notre Dame, which obviously, impacted the throwing game some too. So I mean, I honestly haven't felt much of a difference from him. I think he's continuing to get better and more comfortable in all these situations, the road included. And so, yeah, I mean, obviously, we're going to need him to play well like any week, but I think he's teed up and ready to go.
And we'll wrap it up with shotgun.
For the number of snaps he's played, Jakeem Stewart's been involved in a large number of impactful plays. What would it take for him to see some more opportunities? Is it just a health issue, or have you guys kind of been purposely bringing him along slowly with, his background?
He's dealt with a few kind of nagging things that we'll, probably discuss a little bit more as the season gets closer to the end, that have been impactful. And certainly some of it is youth in there and probably the combination of all of it. But no, there's no denying. I mean, his impact when he's in there is you feel it. You feel him in the game. He's been a part of turnovers, tackles for loss. He just creates a lot of disruption and havoc back there, especially for such a young guy. So no, he's done a heck of a job for us this year, and we're going to keep force feeding him as much as we feel like we can, and he's going to keep going, and got a chance to have a really fantastic career here.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thanks, guys. So before we close, it's time for Conquest Command, a question from the front lines of the Trojan Army. Our question this week is from Arrogant Nation. You can follow him on X at FightOnRusty. Coach Riley, how does a hostile environment like we saw at Nebraska prepare the team for Oregon at Autzen Stadium?
Yeah, no, I think it's great. We've had a chance to be in some other big time environments here, this year, really the last couple of years, and I think that's something that now being in this Big Ten conference really prepares you for. And it's the toughest thing to do in college football is go win big games against good competition on the road. And so, yeah, I think for the team having the confidence of having been in some of those environments, learned from it, having been successful, especially here as of late, is important. And I think you learn some lessons in terms of communication, the mentality that it takes, and all of that. So, yeah, no, I'm glad that we've been in them. Glad this is not our first, and definitely, pushing hard on our end to make sure it's our best.